Very good evening to you. Thank you for staying with TV3. This is News at 10. It is live from our studio here at Adesanwe in Accra. I am Martin Esiedudate. Coming up within the next 30 minutes. The Speaker of Parliament chides members of Parliament over their unrepentant, immature behavior, which has dragged the name of Parliament in the mud in recent months. He has also hinted of sacking MPs from the House if such behavior continues. Meanwhile, he also schooled the first Deputy Speaker again for overturning his ruling in the House. We'll take you to Parliament. There was a lot of drama. We'll take you through it all and break it down for you. Also in the bulletin, the University of Ghana UTAG branch has rejected the suspension of the strike by the National Union, making it the second public university to take this route after the University of Education in Winneba. We'll tell you why they've also rejected that. We are live around the world on 3news.com and on Facebook. This is 279 on DSTV. Here are highlights of today's big stories.
News at 10 headlines is brought to you by Deluxe Superfix Tile Cement.
The Asante Otumfuo Tutu II has lauded Media General for promoting high journalistic standards in the Ghanaian media industry. He commended the board and management for championing ethical journalism devoid of partisanship.
TV3 says I did babyara. I'll be able to them be a nominal that's way near Cansamcho. I want say Omo de no the ate de no near day to Janu Madrene can nemo a day to a manipa or Yena Yeti enough for more banner who dear become.
Some aggrieved youth of the New Patriotic Party at Fomena in the Asante region have kicked against what they describe as an attempt to impose the second Deputy Speaker and independent MP, Andrew Esiama, on the constituency. But the Ashanti regional organizer, Francis Adumako, has denied the allegation.
I personally believe that that's not the thinking of the party. I would just have to plead with the people of Fomena to take their time, because it's not like the party will have to skew things in the favor of the second Deputy Speaker, no.
The Prisons Service is conducting investigations into the circumstances leading to the discharge of a weapon belonging to a prison officer at the Criminal Court 5 in Accra. The officer, a corporal who injured his foot in the process, is said to be responding to treatment. The court was hearing the case involving 4 persons standing trial for the kidnapping of 2 female Canadians. The Ghana Association of Banks is requesting the Interior Ministry to fast-track the process of clearing armored bullion vans for banks from the ports. President of the association, John Ewa, tells TV3 members have made significant progress in acquiring the requisite vans. A number of them are currently locked up at the Tema port. All right, let's settle down for the details of our stories. Now, we are starting from the House of Parliament because the Speaker has been on a tirade today. Alban Bagbin has criticized his deputy, that's Joseph Osei-Wusu, after he overturned another of his rulings. Alban Bagbin has also fumed over the conduct of Bekwai MP, who threw out a motion to have the COVID-19 expenditure investigated, describing it as illegal and offensive. And it was within that process that he also took a step to deal with MPs who have not been behaving themselves in the last few months.
With me, we have 138 members. The motion moves.
The first Deputy Speaker, Joseph Osei-Wusu, on February 22 dismissed the private member's motion by the Ajumako Enyanesiam MP, case a lot of forcing for an inquiry into COVID-19 expenditure after the motion was objected to by the Deputy Majority Leader, Alexander Penyomaking. The first Deputy Speaker consequently granted the objection, dismissing the motion.
My view is that this motion ought not to have been admitted and is improperly before the House. Also,
presiding over proceedings on February 23, the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, took on the MPs for their conduct during proceedings.
what is happening in this Parliament is completely unacceptable. And I'm not sure you have appreciation of the temperature of the country. Neither am I sure you know the arduous nature of the responsibility that have been placed on your shoulders. You are all mature adults. The Marshal Department, get ready. I'll be compelled to get the Marshal to get people arrested and sent out. The parliament we are in has never been in Ghana, even Gold Coast. This is a different type of parliament. We must be prepared to change.
He noted a meeting with his deputies will seek to ensure the trend is halted.
Another issue that requires address is the decision of the first deputy speaker to upend my admission of the motion and rule that the motion should not have been admitted in the first place. It is interesting to note that this is the second time the first deputy speaker has taken the chair and has made a ruling which in fact was to overrule a position I had earlier on established before the House. The penchant of the first deputy speaker to overrule my rulings is, to say the least, unconstitutional, illegal, and offensive. The deputy speakers and I would deliberate on how to present a more coherent and uniform structure in respect of rulings so that the House is guided.
Alban Bagbin urged the minority to challenge the dismissal of the motion if they desire.
All right, we are staying on this subject matter a while longer. So that's what transpired in Parliament. Let's go to phone now and speak to Harrison Kofi Belly. He is the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Parliamentary Journalism and Research. He's joined us. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, good evening.
To start with this, from today's development, this is not the first time that the first deputy speaker has overturned the ruling by the speaker. In fact, the first time, the way the speaker went about it was more like to get him to understand the parliamentary processes. Then this time around, a similar thing has happened. Do you think it is a deliberate disrespect on the part of the first deputy speaker, or there is some power play here?
Yes, thank you very much. You see, the tone of the speaker will tell you how the speaker feels about the decision of the first deputy speaker. On two consecutive occasions, the first deputy speaker has to overturn the ruling of the speaker. The seat is for the speaker. Deputy speakers are in active position. So any decision that the deputy speakers will take must be in consultation with the speaker himself. So sometimes, and what happened yesterday, the first deputy speaker took the decision without consulting the Speaker of Parliament. You are in the active position. The seat is for the speaker. So any decision that we take, it must be in consultation with the speaker. But we never consulted the speaker and we took a decision. And then it was aimed at overturning a decision that the speaker admitted. It's very worrying. That is why you should understand the tone of the speaker today. The speaker was very serious to the extent that he has to instruct some members of parliament to shut up. That will tell you the level of frustration of the speaker. I must admit that the speaker of this parliament is facing a serious challenge. One, a challenge of undermining from the majority side. A challenge of suspicion from the minority. Though he is coming from the minority side, the minority is still suspicious of the speaker. In the sense that the speaker indicated that, look, he can be impartial, but he will be neutral.
Okay.
The minority is suspicious of it. Here's the case: the minority is not confident about the speaker. The majority is not confident about the speaker. So it informs why the federal speaker is going on that target for two consecutive times. the speaker, the first deputy speaker, went on the move of turning the ruling of the...
Mr. Belly, if you can reposition yourself, the line is a bit jumpy. And while at that, can you also talk to me about how then can the speaker amend this frosty behavior or relationship he has with his first deputy? Because, I mean, the new parliament is pretty new to not just them, but to us as a country. And he seems to be having a challenge with, his deputy speakers. And then also, we also quickly want to move on from that and talk about the behavior of parliamentarians, which over the years, seem to be deteriorating, and many have said. But first, talk to us about how the speaker can, amend the relationship he is having with his first deputy.
I can understand the majority side. They are still trying to adjust to the new situation. It has been the case that any time at all that a party wins, it has a majority in parliament. But this is the first time that we have a hung parliament. So it's a different situation. So they are trying to still adjust. That is why they find it very difficult to understand the situation. The speaker is pointing out to something that they are not listening. The speaker is very diplomatic. For the first time, the speaker made the ruling. He traveled. The first deputy speaker came and overruled. This is the second time. And then, in that situation, the speaker still indicated to us that he is not going to reverse that decision, but he is going to create a platform, a framework that they should be able to establish themselves, how they should go about their rulings. I believe that that is the highest level of maturity. If it to be any other speaker, he would have reversed the decision. But I said, no, I will not reverse it. But I'm moving on to establish a framework for us to establish. And that is the best way. Now, there's an amendment process to the standing orders. The standing orders were put up in 2000. It's about 22 years now. Now, they are revising it. So this provides us with new opportunities for us to look into it. The speaker is still speaking that, look, there are opportunities for us to look into it that if Parliament has provided us with a situation that we need to look into it. We have never had a hung Parliament
like this before. And maybe,
so how do we integrate?
Yes, for lack of time, if you can just touch on this one for me and very briefly, debate about he threatening that if MPs do not change their behavior, he will get the marshals of Parliament to throw them out. What do you make of this?
I think that is the best way for the speaker to move. If they don't respect him, he must use the law.
All right.
It's the best way. I think the speaker has spoken his mind, and then I believe that you go by it. And then I expect the members of Parliament, especially from the majority side, to respect the speaker, because there is that perceived understanding that the majority side is trying to undermine the authority of the speaker. That is why the speaker must come up and exert his authority.
Mr. Belly, thank you so much for your time. He's the Executive Director for the Africa Center for Parliamentary Journalism and Research. What do you make of what the speaker said today? We posted it on our social media pages. Many of you have been talking. We'll bring you some of those reactions shortly. Welcome back to News at 10 on TV3. We're going straight to our next story. The Ghana Association of Banks is requesting the Interior Ministry to fast-track the process in clearing armored bullion vans for banks that are currently at the ports. President of the association, John Ewa, tells TV3 that members have made significant progress in acquiring the requisite vans, a number of them currently still locked up at the Tema port. Now, we are following this story. We have heard that the Ghana Police Service, yes, on Tuesday, there was another bullion van attack. It is for which reason we are repulling this story, because the police service foiled that attack which took place at the Accra industrial area. And that will be the 5th such attack in the last few months. For Tuesday's event, the Ghana Police explained that 3 people sustained various degrees of injuries and were responding to treatment at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital following the indiscriminate shooting by the robbers. The police also added that due to the fact that the bullion van was bulletproof and impenetrable, the passengers were safe and not harmed. It is the 5th attack I mentioned earlier. In 3 of those attacks, the robbers have bolted with cash on board the vehicles, and in 2 of the attacks, unfortunately, police officers escorting these vans lost their lives. DCOP Kwesi Ferry is the Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service. He's joined me by phone. Good evening, sir. Thank you for your time this evening. All right, to start with, have you been able to make any arrests regarding Tuesday's bullion van attack?
Thank you very much. Everything is being done to get perpetrators of this crime. We've marshaled our strength and we're doing everything possible within our means to get them. And we'd like to assure the public that definitely we're going to get them. We'll get them arrested to face justice.
What has the cooperation from the public been like in your search?
Of late, we've enjoyed huge public support for our operations, especially in the area of anti-robbery operations. And as I speak to you, a lot of people are assisting us, to get to the bottom of the matter.
And finally, the banks, complied with the IGP's order to secure bullion vans. We are told that some of them are in the country and are locked at the Tema Harbour. Unfortunately, there seem to be some bureaucratic issues keeping them there. The fact that yesterday's bullion van was armed and saved your police officer is probably good news, and those that were in it. What do you make of the fact that there are delays in releasing these bullion vans?
Thank you very much. As yesterday, the police administration re-echoed that banks and security organizations involved in the transportation of bulk currencies should make sure that they get a special vehicle that is a more plated vehicle, like what Montrak Security Service used yesterday. It was good for us that none of the occupants got injured because the bullets were not able to penetrate the vehicle. But police is not involved in certification of vehicles, let alone ensuring delivery of vehicles. The issue raised by the Bankers Association is an administrative issue, and we believe that they should go on, to deal with those administrative issues with authorities that be. But the police service will continue to count on security agencies, private security agencies that are involved in bulk cash movement, intra-regionally, inter-regional, and across the country.
Okay. We thank you so much for your time, and subsequently we'll be coming for an update regarding if you have any leads. DCOP Kwesi Ferry is the Director of Public Affairs for the Ghana Police Service. This is still news at 10 on TV3. In a related development, or still on the security services, the prison service is conducting investigations into the circumstances leading to the discharge of a weapon belonging to a prison officer at the Criminal Court 5 in Accra. The officer, a corporal who injured his foot in the process, is said to be responding to treatment. The court was hearing the case involving 4 persons standing trial for the kidnapping of 2 female Canadians. However, proceedings had to be suspended by the presiding judge, Lydia Osei-Mafo, following the shooting incident. Meanwhile, the Office of the Chief Justice has issued a statement following the accidental shooting in the court. Our court correspondent, Sela Mamenya, has more.
The accidental discharge of live weapon at the Law Court Complex on Wednesday, February 23. The Judicial Service, through the Judicial Secretary, has released a statement urging calm. The statement, signed by Justice Cynthia Pamela A. Addo, who is the Judicial Secretary, is urging the general public to remain calm as it initiates investigations into circumstances leading to the incident. It also says that though this is the first time such an incident has occurred at the law court, security measures are being put in place to ensure that it doesn't recur. Selom Amenya, TV3 News, Accra.
In other news tonight, there was a near clash between the military and residents of Ntobroso in the Asante region following the burning of some houses by the Operation Halt team. The military moved in the mining community to seize and destroy mining equipment in a bid to end illegal mining. A report by Ibrahim Abubakar.
16 bedroom
Tempests are flaring high among residents of Ntobroso in the Achumamponia district following the destruction of some homes by the Operation Halt team. The team of military personnel stormed the area Wednesday morning to destroy some excavators as part of renewed commitment to bring an end to illegal mining in the community. But residents complained the operation has caused more harm than good, as people's homes and other properties were burnt in the process.
We have
no qualms against the burning of the excavators. What about the houses that have been destroyed? I do not mine in the river of Inn. We were told that those who mine in the river bodies as well as forest reserves are the target. Why do they target me?
For residents, the operation has rather caused fear and panic among them. Their plea is for the government to regulate the activities of the team to prevent such occurrences going forward. We will be monitoring developments and update you subsequently. Ibrahim Abubakar, TV3 News, Ntobroso, Asante region.
Now, the Asante Otumfuo Osei II has lauded Media General for promoting high journalistic standards in the Ghanaian media industry. He commended the board and management for championing ethical journalism devoid of partisanship.
An elated Santahene could not hide his joy when he received the board and management of Media General, led by Kojo Yanka, former Ashanti Regional Minister and author of Otumfuo Osei II, the Ken on the Golden Stool.
Now, Media General, Enoanewo TV3, 3FM, Connect FM, Takrade, Onia FM, Onia TV, and Akumase Akuma FM. Na Afebia Swan, Yakwa Pro, Nebisa, Penifo, then Omo Dream were your program so. Tiana na the time as one. Eba Kumasi Nebaya Sebetia Ura.
Among the delegation were the CEO of Media General, Beatrice Ajamai, the COO, Wilfred Affle, and head of TV, Francis Doku. Also in the delegation was the station manager of Akoma FM, Faustina Derry. Santahene said he likes to watch TV3 because over the years, it has stayed neutral and has promoted high professional journalistic content to its viewers.
TV3 says I didn't baby ara. I'll be able to them be a nominal that's way near Kansam Chow. I want say be almost the no the ate the no near day to January Madrid near Canemo a day to a manipa wa yenya yeti enough for more banner who dear become na you know sabe it my muhay where near so be a can say will be say nine to be an nam home cry and obi aka sem na monso more obi to us over no adane no a chair no senya sabe no bi de abanya sa nam kan ni nyina ya de a menyine se me ho bi wo mo sa enti no so monto aso na momfa de mosua no ne ho nim de no mfa nya adwuma na sa ama ne nye.
He suggested that more cultural-oriented programs should be promoted and the Media General platform should set the pace. CEO of Media General, Beatrice Agyemang, said already Media General platforms are promoting local content and even bringing on board more.
Yeguswa yesa inti menche P, me director of TV. Obehu head winner of Ghana's Most Beautiful Bechiao. Nyamencha de winner no free ha. Inti ne di sene de ne ba bechiao inti yeda so. Sa program no eno ne de to esi ho. Ye promote your culture e wo krom ha. And ye shall boss say ye bokoswa promote ye feel say dumre bia e wo see etimi market ye tourism ye e wo krom ha because e sika bebre na de bebre yen nti ye san ba beje unhira say ye the programs bebre na eba ye oba ko bia ya to no sankofa wo nia TV so nti ye beba ne umpanimfo ni bebre abedi nkomo.
There is reason why we are number one. Thank you very much to 24. And before we go, let's find out what's happening on the international scene regarding news. And a man has been arrested in Amsterdam following an hours-long hostage standoff at an Apple store. Police say a 27-year-old gunman entered the store on Tuesday, taking some persons hostage and demanding some 200 million euros, equivalent to $230 million in cryptocurrency. And that's how we bring the bulletin to a close. Thank you for spending your 30 minutes with us. I am Martin Esiedu. Do have a good evening, and as always, stay positive. Bye for now.